it really means something to them as well.
Mate, you're building self-esteem in an age where, with all this screen time, a lot of that gets stripped away. So that is worth every single minute. Hey folks, Ben from Smoking Hot Confessions here. It's day 2 at Kangaroo Valley and the last hand-ins have just been done. Matt from Smoking Coals here is the returning grand champion. Mate, what kind of pressure does that put on you?
As much as I'd love to go back to back, probably a little naive in this game to think that would happen.
Well, you've certainly brought out the big guns. You've got a pair of M grills here. Are you the only team in Australia on the M grills?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are at the moment. The two M1s are just a great piece of kit. Just a tank, rain, hail or shine. They actually last year at Kangaroo Valley, they sat in the rain and the dial doesn't move.
Well, you were explaining them to me before. They are insulated, reverse flow. There's this handle down here. It raises and lowers an internal charcoal grill like an asado. I mean, this could be everything to everyone.
Yeah, it's a great combo unit. It's taken out the awardees combination barbecue unit of the year for the last couple of years in a row in the US. They're all 10 gauge steel. As you see it, the footprint's about the size of a 4-burner barbecue. And yeah, it's a reverse flow and it has the charcoal grate for searing or just direct grilling.
Absolutely fantastic. But of course, this isn't the only thing you've been doing this weekend. You have founded Kids Q Nation in Australia.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. What's all that about?
So Kids Q Nation runs the same as the SCA does, just with a few modified rules for the kids. Parents can only really help with a knife or a fire management, so the kids don't get hurt. Everything else, the cook, the seasoning, marinating, anything like that has to be in the control of the child.
I got to watch a bit of that yesterday and I got to judge it. And look, man, I get to a lot of these barbecue competitions every year, and those steaks that those kids turned in were some of the best steaks I've had all year.
Yeah, a lot of the kids put in a lot of practice. Even my own and a couple of the ones that have really done well this year. We see parents posting on Facebook and social media, 2 or 3 times a week of what the kids are cooking. So they really deserve their results.
And they're getting recognised for it around the world, because you have some big news to share, don't you?
Yeah, we do. And as we announced yesterday, Kids Q in the United States, in Texas, and the Hills Country Cook-Off Association have invited our top 5 kids from this year to go over and throw down against the top 5 in the US. And we'll be doing that and taking them all over in October next year.
That's so cool. So the top 5 Aussie Kids Qers get to go over and cook against the top 5 US kids.
Yeah, and there's going to be 2 categories. They'll do one on the Friday night, being the ribeye steak. They'll do pork chops on the Saturday in more an open style event, and then tally it all up for a grand champion and a reserve grand champion. So with a bit of luck, our Aussie kids will bring home the trophies.
Alrighty, so was this weekend the last weekend of competition for the kids?
Yes, this was our first season. We've had 7 competitions this year, wrapping up here this weekend at Kangaroo Valley. And moving on next year, I'm hoping to land between 20 and 30 Kids Q competitions in 4 or 5 states. 20
to 30 competitions?
Yeah. There'll be a calendar coming out shortly that'll have a preliminary list of events through our social media with all the promoters we've already spoken to and locked in, and there's still a few more that we're talking to.
Mate, that is phenomenal. You are going to be a busy man in 2020.
Yeah, I will be. A lot of travel involved next year.
Mate, you're going to have an absolute ball, and I really love what you're doing, because I think one of the most powerful things about barbecue is its ability to bring families together. And the fact that you're now adding this Kids Q element to barbecue competitions is going to mean that, kids are going to be able to go with mum and dad, and they're going to be able to compete, and then the whole family then gets to go to Texas and compete over in Texas. You might end up with a Kids Q competition at the SCA World Cook-Offs in Texas in like October or something. I mean, that's wild. The potential of this is just wild.
Yeah, well, a lot of the kids, you know, they're sitting around, they go to these competitions anyway, they're sitting in a tent, or, you know, they're sitting under, you know, a gazebo with mum and dad, and they're just glued to their iPads the whole time.
I was going to say, it gets them off the screens.
Yeah, it's a lot less screen time, and it gets them out and involved. And, you know, even just watching the presentation yesterday, you know, we've had Cody trying all year, and, you know, just to watch the excitement when these guys are hearing their name called and coming up on stage for trophies, you know, it really means something to them as well.
Mate, you're building self-esteem in an age where, with all this screen time, a lot of that gets stripped away. So that is worth every single minute. So, mate, thank you very much for your time. I realise that you're all done today, so it's time to start packing up, and I appreciate you taking some time out to talk to me. Well done, and best of luck with those 30 competitions in 2020.
Thanks.